Hi everyone, I'm just coming on quickly to share 3 dreams of encouragement. The first dream was from my 6-year-old daughter on the 8th of September. So on the 8th of September, she woke from a dream and shared it with me. She said she was standing in a garden with flowers everywhere. There were all different types and different colours. She climbed up 4 ladders that were connected with clouds in between. On top of the last cloud, there was a huge temple, and inside it were 2 king chairs. I'm reading this as she described it to me, so she didn't know the word throne, so she described it as 2 king chairs. She said one was large and one was small. Jesus was sitting on the big one, and she was sitting on the small chair next to him, talking with Jesus. She then showed her around a bit, and she saw some of Jesus's friends. When I asked her if she knew the names, she said she saw Joshua and Isaac. She said she also saw Isaac's dad, but couldn't remember his name. Obviously, Isaac's dad is Abraham. I shared that with her. And she said she saw a lady with very long hair who she believed was Mary. She also went on to tell me that she saw 12 brothers. She spoke about playing games and hopscotch, and she also described that the ladders didn't squash the flowers, that they stood back up and didn't die. So when the ladder lifted up off the flowers stood back up straight again. They weren't squashed and they didn't die. And yeah, so needless to say, it was just a very encouraging dream that she, was given by the Lord to be in the temple of God in heaven. And she drew this picture for me and then went over it with some textures to add some colour. When she first drew it, it just had the 4 ladders up on the clouds, and she drew the temple on the left-hand side with her and Jesus sitting on thrones. But then when she wanted to try and draw the rest of the cloud with all the other people she saw, she felt like she needed to draw another ladder to up to that cloud. So yeah, this is a picture my 6-year-old daughter drew, and that was her dream. Then my son, my 14-year-old son, received a couple of visions in one night. Sorry, just quickly flicking the page to the one. It was on the 6th of October. But I'll just share this one first. My son's actually been receiving a lot of dreams and visions from the Lord, so I'm planning on just doing a video just with his. But I wanted to share this one again for encouragement. We were sitting on the lounge talking. It was the 6th of October, and in the midst of our discussions, he received a vision from the Lord at about 9:47, and he said he saw the pearl gates in heaven. They were very, very large, and he saw padlocks all the way down the gate. And in his vision, he could see that all the padlocks were open except one. And the very last padlock that was closed was in the process of being opened. So I just wanted to share that also with you for encouragement. We just know that the Lord's coming is so close. And I love just how the Lord keeps us excited and keeps our focus on Him as we wait for His coming. And so lastly, I just want to share a dream that I had. It was on the 28th of October. And again, this is just for some encouragement. I dreamed I was at a bus stop. And while sitting at the bus stop, I was wearing a beautiful spring summer red dress. It wasn't a long evening gown or anything. It was just, it reminded me very much of Spring Carnival, which obviously was about a week before the Melbourne Cup. And I don't actually follow the Melbourne Cup. I don't actually participate in it. But it just reminded me because the ladies dress up in some beautiful frocks for the event. And so the dress that I was wearing was just a lovely spring summer red dress. and I was waiting at the bus stop. I knew I was going to a special occasion. I didn't know what that occasion was, but I was all dressed and ready, and I was waiting at the bus stop. And while I was waiting there, another lady who I know, she's also a Christian, arrived wearing a beautiful red dress as well. Hers was a different design, but it was just gorgeous. She also had a lovely red hat on. But yeah, so another person arrived at the bus stop, and we were waiting for the bus to go to this destination. Now, the lady is not someone I see on a regular basis, but her name is Robin, and I believe the Lord wanted me to look up her name. So I looked up the name Robin, and it means bright and shining. And I believe those that are walking in His Spirit are shining His light for the world to see. We're bright lights shining, and we're dressed and ready, waiting for the wedding feast. So I believe the red dress represented being covered in the blood of Christ. We're shining brightly for Him, and waiting at the bus stop just signifies that we are waiting for that bus to arrive for departure. So, you know, in my spirit, again, it just indicates the closeness of the hour we're in, because you don't go to the bus stop days before the event. You know, you go to the bus stop, minutes before your bus is due to arrive. So you know that we're in those final minutes before departure. And again, God's timing is not our timing, but we know His the rapture is very close. It's very imminent, and so He wants us to hold in and keep pressing into Him. Stay encouraged. Keep your eyes fixed on the Lord. Rejoice, for our redemption draweth nigh. I love you all, and I'll try and get some more videos out shortly. God bless you all.